decades of severe weather experience here for you when it counts. This is Doc Deason's Weather, live now.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. We are sitting at 3:57. Weather Service now going with a tornado warning, and that's going to include Smith County. This will also include the city of Tyler. Weather Service with a storm capable of a tornado right now located over Chandler. This is the same storm that prompted the severe thunderstorm warning for Henderson County, and this is kind of a similar track to what we were looking at here a week or so back with the storm that crossed over the county. Coming out of Chandler, out of Henderson County, and that's the one that we're going to be watching here for a bit. So this is going to get a lot of people's attention. So if you are out and about this afternoon, you got some folks who are especially in the western part of Smith County. Let's get them up to speed quickly. This warning, though, again, the polygon will include the city of Tyler. So let's step into what we have and take a look at the radar real fast. We'll pull a couple things down here. And we'll move that out of the way. Let's move that and this, and that'll get us up to our radar. Okay, that's the storms up along Interstate 30. We will talk more about them here in a second. So let's get down here into Smith County and look at the storm that is into western Smith County right now. On the radar from the Shreveport office, put this into our modes with velocity on the right and the reflectivity on the left. The stuff on the right that you're looking at there, we're looking at winds as they relate to the radar side in Shreveport, whether they're blowing towards the radar side or away from the radar site. And when we see that, we've definitely got a couplet there southeast of Chandler. That is moving to the, let's see, you're moving east at about 40 miles an hour. So it's moving at a pretty good clip. So as it tracks to the east, that will take it across the southern part, I would think, the southern part of southern half of Tyler. At least, actually, it looks to me more like it may just cross right straight through. Let's see there. If you're in Tyler, let's just say if you're west of the city of Tyler, you need to be in that safe place right now, along and especially south of Highway 31. Okay, folks from Chandler into town on 31. Let's get ourselves into that safe spot as we speak. This thing will continue scooting off to the east, and as it does so, nothing confirmed from the Weather Service as far as anything producing a tornado, but the signatures are there from the radar, and that's the reason why the warning was issued. So again, if you're just now hopping on, we are at 4 o'clock on the nose. Weather Service with a severe thunderstorm, actually a tornado warning for southern Smith County. That'll go until 4:30 this afternoon. Storm capable of a tornado, moving east at about 40 miles an hour. Yeah, go ahead and do that, yeah. So we got some pretty good wind in here, regardless of anything tornadic. Strongest winds there are going to be north of noonday. So if you're in the noonday area right now, you're probably just on the northern edge of this thing. And Weather Service putting out another product, maybe something for, let's see here. Yeah, that'll be a severe thunderstorm warning out to the west. So we won't concern ourselves with that. The main concern, though, again, going to be for this area right here, north. I would say north of noonday, southeast of Chandler, and that's moving east at about 45 or so miles an hour. If you're seeing anything as far as hail or things like that, let me know. Just kind of throw that in the chat, and I will hail it in Tyler. Nancy, okay, thanks. If you have any idea on the size of that, that'd be good. It's a pretty good lightning here on the south side of town. Let's look at this thing on a loop real fast and kind of hail at 155 in the loop, Eric. Okay, thanks. Pretty heavy. If you got a size on that, Eric, that'd be great. LaRue got hail, pebble-sized hail, Nancy. Okay, so that's probably peas, I would think. Just tuned in. Pretty bad in noonday. Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that, but I think the worst of it is going to be off probably just to the north of you guys in noonday right this second. I would expect the city of Tyler very well may hit the sirens on this thing at some point. Since Tyler is in the polygon, we'll see if they do that or not. I have not heard anything at this point, but don't rely on the sirens, or don't have your friends rely on the sirens to give you a warning that something's coming up the street at you. That's something we definitely want to kind of bring that home. Let's look back on this on the radar with velocity. So this looks to be just south of the airport. This looks to be south of the airport, south of 64. If there's going to be something, I think it's going to be in there between 155 and 31, most likely. Hail at Andy Woods. Okay, Emily, thanks for that. Absolutely, Rod. Appreciate you, man. Hail at Crow Road and Old Noonday. Dimes. Okay, Matthew. Thanks for that. So again, if you're just hopping on, tornado warning for Smith County till 4:30. Tornado went up to quarter-sized hail possible with the storm. The storm does not look quite as strong as it did the last couple scans ago. You can kind of make out that more pronounced. Let me go back here a little bit. Yeah, so there's 358. There's 358 there. Hail, the signature doesn't look quite as good at 401. Hail and McDonald Road and sirens. Okay, so City of Tyler is hitting the sirens. Dimes at Tanglewood subdivision. Okay, that's Tyler. Thanks for that. Yeah, a lot of folks have pea-sized hail. That seems pretty common. Doesn't look as strong as it did a couple scans ago, though. So that is, if there was going to be something encouraging, that would be it. Hail at Green Acres. So we got hail across the central part of the city of Tyler right now. So that's not to be really surprised by that. So sirens and ARP. Here's the overall look of the radar real fast as we come up on 404. Just kind of walk this tornado warning across for you. Weather Service issuing that because of this area, I think right in here, that was over Chandler and was scooting off to the northeast at about 45. I can hear the sirens here in South Tyler now too, by the way. So I've had no reports of anything being sighted. This environment today is, as I mentioned this morning, not something we want to sleep on as far as the tornado potential is concerned, but the greater potential for that is well to the north of us, up into Arkansas, and especially as you get up into that high risk area. Yeah, I can hear the sirens here now, South Tyler. Dimes at 69 and Cumberland Mall. Peas in East Tyler now. Okay. So if we have something, again, it's going to be getting into the southwestern part of the city of Tyler now. I would be in that safe place here now. If you're in the southwest part of Tyler, we'll say south of downtown. If you're south of just if you're along and south of downtown, let's be in our safe spot. Between Tyler and the South Loop, the Loop 49. Let's just go ahead and take those tornado precautions there right now. So if you're from downtown Tyler down to the between downtown Tyler and Loop 49, yeah, we got a lot of wind coming in here now on the right here near the Loop and Broadway in Tyler. See what we've got here with some small hail here at the house. My wife just sent me a picture of that, so it's not terribly large, That really doesn't matter when you get the tornado concern. I would estimate we've probably got 35 to 40 mile an hour winds here near 69 south behind the mall over here. Hail at the hospitals, Matt. Thanks for that. P's at UT Tyler. Okay. Thanks, Kimberly. So again, if you're from downtown, I would say south to 1249 at Tyler. Let's be sure we've got our safe spot secured, if you will. Have not had any reports of a touchdown or a sighting of any sort. So this area of what could be rotation here between Noonday and Tyler doesn't look as pronounced as it did here a few minutes ago. Sorry about that. Just taking care of our friends at Tyler Junior College real fast. So again, we've got a new severe coming for the other storm that's coming into Smith and northern Cherokee counties as well from the Weather Service. This rotation, this wind here does not look quite as impressive as it did a couple of scans ago, but still from downtown Tyler south to 1249. Let's just take our precautions there real quick. I think I hear the sirens recycling, or maybe they're not sure exactly what they're doing with those. Had some pretty good traffic from the amateur radio guys. There's some pretty good limbs being pulled down over near Hubbard Middle School, which would make sense by the wind that I saw earlier. The wind looks like it subsided outside. So overall, see kind of that brighter banding there. Some of those brighter pixels coming into Tyler, or coming west of Tyler here on the loop from earlier on. That seems to have lost some of its composure. So that's encouraging, but still, I would make. Let's just kind of hang back here and see what we're dealing with the next couple of minutes. I will tell you there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that the Weather Service is going to issue pretty quick for this batch of storms out here from Pointer back over to Coffee City up to Moore Station. That's right there along Lake Palestine. That stuff is going to prompt a new warning, which will cover northern Cherokee and southern Smith County as well. So don't be surprised to hear that coming up in a few. Again, no reports of a sighting or anything of that nature in Tyler or anywhere in Smith County for that matter. Looks like Weather Service is going to cancel the tornado warning for Smith County shortly, so that's good. That matches what we saw on the radar, so I'm glad we're all seeing the same thing and basically on the same page there with that. With what I'm seeing with those velocity returns, that makes sense. Hey, you bet, Tom. Appreciate it, man. So we'll wait for the Weather Service to make the move on that officially. They are the ones that issue the warnings and cancel them. They have already begun to cancel some people out of the tornado watch box out to our west. So just to give you some idea on that, this is not going to be a late night event, not something we're going to have to deal with way into the deep into the overnight hours. This thing will be long gone before dark, I think. Thanks for that, Rob. Small hail and good wind there, Biloxi and Shiloh. Okay, Silence in White House, Nicole. Thanks for that. I think once they cancel that warning, that should help with the sirens and whatnot. Oh, thanks, Katie. I appreciate that. Give my best to everybody, okay, Lindale. All right, so Weather Service is going to, they are coming out with that new severe thunderstorm warning now, and they're putting some additional verbiage in there. They're adding a considerable tag to it, which doesn't mean a whole lot to most people, but to those of us in the weather community, when they put some of this verbiage in there, they use that to kind of help emphasize the potential for problems. So they're going to put a 70-mile-an-hour potential on there for wind. This will include Cherokee, Gregg, Rusk, and Smith counties, and that's going to run till 5 o'clock. So let's handle that here real fast.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
All right, severe thunderstorm warning. Smith, southern Smith, northwestern Rusk, southwestern Gregg, and northwestern Cherokee. That'll go until 5 o'clock. Storm located along a line from 7 miles north of White House to Tyler, to 7 miles southeast of Chandler, to near Bullard, to near Lake Palestine, and near Frankston, moving east at 35. 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. 70-mile-an-hour winds. That's a good. It's a good amount of wind there. I mean, you need 74 for hurricane status. Okay, so keep that in mind. 74 mile an hour is plenty to do some damage, and so even without a tornado signature in there, that's still plenty of issues. So let's pull this down and put that up, and yeah, so. They have yet to officially pull the tornado warning for Smith County, although they had indicated that they were. Here's a look at this batch of storms that's coming in, about to cross the southern part of Lake Palestine there down near Coffee City. White House alarms are still going. Okay, Heather. Okay. Yeah, I think you can tell them that we're cool. Okay. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Weather Service has now officially canceled that warning for Smith County, the tornado warning. Severe remains in place, so that box is going to fall off here in a second. The red box will replace it with the severe thunderstorm warning. So just to give you some peace of mind on that. Sunshine and blue skies on the backside of that. Dean sees it out near Forney. Yeah, thanks for that, Dean. And we'll have that soon enough here after this little batch of happenings passes by. Still some pretty good hail. I'd say probably at least quarters down towards Berryville in this. From Noonday, or just south of Noonday, down to Teasville, onto Coffee City. Could be some quarters in there very much. So we're looking at a radar beam that's really high up in the air column here, but some wind speeds, the 50 to 60, there's some 65, close to 65 mile an hour. But again, you're shooting from Shreveport all the way to Noonday, which is, by the time this thing gets up, it's moving. It's pretty high up in the air. So it doesn't mean all this is going to translate down, but I can appreciate the 70 mile an hour potential on that at least. So we're at 4/4/16 now. Tornado warning has been canceled officially for Smith County. Severe thunderstorm warning has been put in place for a storm that was just south of the storm that prompted the initial tornado warning. So Tyler is in the box for this latest severe thunderstorm warning, albeit the southeastern half of town. So really, let's just say from downtown south. The greatest of this wind looks like it's going to probably be further south down, I would say down probably Flint, Noonday area. That'll cross over White House. See this brighter bluish coloring in here? That's where the best winds are going to be at. And that's at least a 50 to, probably some 60 up to potentially 70 mile an hour winds. Bullard, but especially White House over to Flint, Noonday. Bullard probably too. You'll get some outflow on that. That'll brush out south and east probably as well. And then also back over towards Coffee City, you can see some pretty strong wind in there, even probably more pronounced wind back yeah. So if you were under your tornado precautions for the city of Tyler, we can suspend that as the tornado warning has been canceled. Okay, tornado warning was canceled, Megan, so you're good there. So let's see here. Yeah, Weather Service is already canceling tornado watch for Rains, Hopkins, and Van Zandt County. So that process is coming along as we talked about it, and that will eventually happen here for our central counties pretty in the next hour or so. Here's just a broad look at the regular reflectivity, and we'll kind of have Smith and Northern Cherokee in here. Hail potential, I would say greatest going to be down towards Coffee City, back up to just southwest of Flint. You get east of there, and the hail doesn't look as pronounced. Power's out in Flint. CC, okay. Thanks for that. Sorry. I think we'll have some pretty good limbs that will have been brought down by that initial storm that came through, and then the secondary storm behind it probably will do some additional issues with the smaller tree limbs and things like that. So I got the kids at Texas East Gymnastics watching us. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. So 420 now. Wind, the back end of this rain is already through the west side of Tyler. So rain's cleared the airport. It's gonna clear out here pretty quick into the southern half of the city too. And this is the one shot we really have of rainfall. When you pull this out, you can see the radar over the last little bit. This line is really the beginning and the end of what we're going to deal with insofar as severe weather goes tonight. So once that passes, we'll scoot it on over into Rusk County and Gregg County. Wood County, you're basically clear of severe weather. And these guys along this line, which model handled it pretty well. The short-term models handled it pretty darn good, showing just a flare-up of storms, and then everything pretty well subsiding after that. We're bringing these. We're going to bring the wind in out of more of a westerly direction, and that'll help to shut things down. It's also going to start to dry us out here. So we'll go through this and be thankful that we're not further to the north, because, man, I tell you, they got a big show ongoing right now up north of us. Okay, real quick. Speaking of north, thunderstorms also over our neighbors in northern Cass County, right there along the Cass Bowie County line. Severe thunderstorm warnings there. That's north of Linden. This will be northeast of Dangerfield. Got some stragglers there. Mount Pleasant. Nothing to be warned on for the moment, but that is something that will have some pretty good rain for it. Thanks, Miss Jelaine. Got penny size in Chapel Hill right now. Okay, thanks for that. Power's out in Bullard at the Brookshires. Okay. All right. So if you got anybody coming in from Texarkana, they'll have some storms that they'll be dodging. Back further south, nothing Jefferson, Marion County, nothing really right now in Harrison County, Marshall. But you will have some rain to dodge here next little bit. But at least for the moment, it's not a solid line of storms. It's going to, in fact, impact everybody. But there's still some pretty good lightning production on the south end of Smith County right now. So back in here, severe thunderstorm warning for Smith County. That'll also include southwestern Gregg, northwestern Cherokee, northwestern Rusk. Officially goes till 5. The severe weather threat will be out of Smith County. I think it'll be well east of Tyler before 5 o'clock. But the southeastern part of the county will still probably have it till a little bit before 5. Rainfall, it looks like rainfall's done in northern half of Lake Palestine. You guys are on the back end of that, so y'all are good. Really about the western 3/4 of Tyler. You can see the sky lightening up a lot outside my place right now. Yeah, Nichelle, Tyler's pretty good to go. Maybe a little bit of some heavy rainfall southeast loop and extreme in that east loop area between Irwin and the 271 turnoff there, but that won't be lasting much longer. You bet, Johnny. Glad you're here, man. Thank you. Yeah, Keith Barton said, looking west from South Tyler, it's getting brighter. Rain is almost tapered. Yeah, we're going to have a pretty decent sunset, I think, out of this whole deal, honestly, when we're all said and done. Probably a pretty one at that. ETA on Troop. You got rain coming in, Joseph, I would say in the next 10 minutes for Troop. Probably some pretty decent wind in there, too. Looks like there's somewhat of a little apex trying to develop there. It's hard to tell, but could be pretty good little blow there. On the leading edge of this stuff, you usually get that anyway, so. Sprinkling, no hail, so good. That's what we want. It'll get better from here, too, so hang in there. Let's look back at the velocity on this thing. Yeah, still some pretty good wind. There's some pretty good wind there on the west side of White House there. From White House over to Flint. Now, not all of this is going to be able to make it to the ground, but if even half of it does, you're still looking at, 35, 40 mile an hour winds potentially. Hail and Flint. Oh, just cracked your windshield, Rob. I'm sorry. Yeah, hail in White House too. Okay. And now the sun comes through. Yep. There you go. Hail and Bullard, Carrie. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you, Carolyn. Thanks for being here. Absolutely, Gary. Appreciate you being a part of it. Glad you're here. Wife gets off downtown at 5. Longview. I think this will be. Hold on a second here. Yeah, this thing will be scooting pretty quick. If it even drops much in long view, it looks to me like, you know, this thing seems to be losing losing a lot of steam on the northeast edge at least. So we'll just have to watch that and see. Longview is officially in this polygon for the severe thunderstorm warning, but I don't see anything remotely severe in the Longview area, in Gregg County for that matter. This overall thing seems to be losing some steam, so we'll watch it and see what it does. Yeah, it is pretty crazy, Johnny. Yeah, this is a big day. We've got a high risk of severe weather today for a couple of areas. You don't see a high risk from Storm Prediction Center. You see that less than a half dozen times a year, way under a half dozen times a year in most cases. But today we have one of those high risk outlooks from them. They run on a scale basically from general thunderstorms, marginal risk, slight risk, enhanced risk, moderate risk, which is also pretty rare, up to the high risk, which is just not something they pull off the shelf very often. But when they do, it's for very good reason. We are not inside of any of the higher end outlooks. We are in, or at least our northeastern counties, inside of the enhanced risk for severe weather. Back up Marion County, Cass County, and then points back up north and east. But once this line comes through, that's going to be the end of that. Coming up on 429, so severe thunderstorm warning for Smith County, southern Smith County, till 5. Dimes and Bullard, Lindsay. Okay, thanks for that. One headed toward Palestine, Autumn. Let's take a look at that here and see real fast. Let's get over and switch. See what things look like from that western edge of that. So we'll pull up Fort Worth radar. So we got some pretty good limb damage down near Grove Club Lake. So that's going to be off of 344. West of 110, Smith County, southern Smith County. Asking about Palestine. Looks like the bulk of that may skate just to the north of Palestine. Autumn. Peaceful at the TJC campus. Okay, Dr. Mejia. Thank you, sir. So this thing here north of Palestine, that'll continue. Probably going to skate north of town. These storms here from, we'll see, back towards Berryville on up to White House to east to Chapel Hill now. Tyler's almost completely rain free, besides maybe a few sprinkles. Cameron, Marshall, man, I don't have not much cooking in Marshall right at the moment. Let's get back to our Shreveport radar and yeah, Marshall, you guys in Harrison County, Panola County, Knack, Angelina County, all still in the tornado watch officially. Yeah, Angie, it got some blue sky coming in pretty fast. So we'll continue to walk this thing across. 5 o'clock is our expiration time for the severe thunderstorm warning. The severe weather threat is over for the city of Tyler. Everything is now east of town. Tornado warning was out earlier. They canceled that before its expiration time. Have not seen anything as far as reports of a touchdown or even a sighting of a funnel cloud. But in the environment that we're in today, you don't take chances, and you don't want to warn people and get them all fired up for no reason. But at the same time, you kind of walk a fine line when those folks are sitting at that radar desk in Shreveport. That's not a call I necessarily want to be making. So I appreciate their being precautionary on that. Thanks, Freed. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot. So White House up to near Liberty City. You got moderate to heavy rain Liberty City right now. That's gonna probably increase a little bit in intensity. Kilgore, you're up next on the heavier rain. Probably gets pretty good wind on the front end of this thing as well as that complex comes through. Ditto that for Overton down to Arp, New London, Troop. Rain's right on top of you now. Probably pretty dark sky and probably some pretty decent wind on that too. White House, you guys are almost out the back end of this. Flint, you are even closer to being out of the back of this. And Noonday, you guys are long gone from it. So, you bet, Lindsay. Glad to help out. Looks like they had a pretty sizable tornado Little Rock earlier today, by the way, in case you did not know that. Had some pretty significant damage up there. They are inside of that high-risk area that I was talking about here a few minutes ago. Pretty awful in Bullard, Die. Okay. Yeah, definitely could be some wind in there between White House and Troop. Weather Service is continuing the severe thunderstorm warning, and they're going to maintain that what we call the considerable tag on it for that up to 70-mile-an-hour wind. Severe thunderstorm along a line from 7 miles southwest of Liberty City to near Arp to near White House to Bullard to near Reese, going east at 40, 70-mile-an-hour winds, some quarter-sized hail is what they are going to continue to run with. That'll be southeastern Smith County. So this all lines up with what we've been watching. And they have trimmed that box. If you just notice that there, the polygon has pulled Tyler out of the warning completely now, which makes sense because the danger and the storms are back south, east and south now. So Noonday, you're out of it. Tyler out completely. White House, you're still in it. There's going to be some wind, probably going to be. Yeah, I'm going to flip over to this velocity and reflectivity split here. If we're going to have some wind, it's going to be down in this Troop, White House, Chapel Hill area, I think. Probably right. Where's my drawing tool at? Probably could be some wind. And we'll watch this. We'll just kind of watch how this line gets kind of wavy. You see these complexes get wavy like this. Sometimes little things can try to spin up in some of these little pockets. So we'll just watch that. Just gonna watch it. Frida, nothing, no warning as far as tornado warning for Longview. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. I don't have anything as far as tornado warnings out right now for the area, so hopefully that helps some. Mark, no, I don't think so, man. We're pretty much done with it, Wood County. After this rain passes, that's going to be the end of it. So mouse gets a little crazy there. Try to pull up. Let's pull up some of this satellite. Okay, so this is a visible satellite. When we talk about satellite, if you're looking at a satellite during the day, it's great because you can actually, with the visible, you can actually see what's going on from the satellite's location, 22,000 miles up. So you can make out the kind of the Metroplex area. Notice the clearing, the really impressive clearing that's taking place back behind this. And you can also notice how the storms are really ventilating out well. You can kind of make out some of these tops, man. These are some strong storms. When you can see that kind of definition from that high in altitude, that's some impressive storms. So all that to say, back behind this, there's nothing else really cooking as far as more storm potential tonight. We'll start drying it out, and that'll be the end of it. Okay, but maybe that helps to give some context to what we were talking about. And while I'm at it, we got this high risk of severe weather today. See that kind of that magenta color there, southeast of Des Moines, and then this other high risk pocket down just east of Little Rock over to Memphis. You won't see many of those high risk days in a year's time. You'll under half a dozen of those in a year's time. So to have particularly one where you've got two bullseyes. You got a couple bullseye there. That's not something you see very often either. I think last time we had multiple high risk areas was back in 2012, if I remember what the Weather Service mentioned in Fort Worth earlier today. So, and really the thing behind all this is the tornado potential. That's the reason why. You get back further south and east, and our potential, our severe weather potential here is tied more directly to hail and some wind, and a much lower end tornado potential here than our neighbors off to the north. All right, so just want to show you that. Get back on these storms here. 440. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. Gregg County, Longview, you are in the box, but there's some heavier rain approaching the west side of Longview, but not that impressive otherwise. Looks like some of the lightning production has come down in that too. Power's out in Chapel Hill, Rosanna. Okay. Thank you for that. Update on the Troop area. Well, Robin, let's see what's going on in Troop. Just some heavy rainfall moving in. Still in the severe thunderstorm warning for Troop for that southeastern quarter of Smith County. White House, worst of your weather is almost through. Thanks, Jasmine. I appreciate you saying that. Glad you're here. Still watching these storms back up north of Palestine. They seem to be making better eastward progress than they are southeastward progress. You bet, Robin. So let's look at this back. Let's go back to our radar scope and look at the velocities. Still some pretty good wind, like we talked about there down there. ARP. Potentially there on the leading edge of this. New London back south and east. Typically, you'll have a pretty good bunch of wind on the leading edge of this. So that outflow comes through, that rain cooled air, where you can really tell something's about to happen. So we're clear Gilmer, we're clear Mineola, we're clear Tyler now. How's it looking around 7 tonight, Jasmine? I think most of this will be long gone by 7 o'clock if you're talking about Alto. Yeah, this will be out of here before then. I mean, we're 4:45 now. So there's dark clouds, Robin, in Troop. Okay. I think we'll get you some rain here shortly. It's almost there. You bet, Jasmine. Yeah, it probably are. It's probably pretty sight, I would think. You get on the backside of this in the clearing. I bet these things look pretty good from the looking back east. If you're in a westerly position and you could see the backside of these things, I bet they do look pretty cool. So officially, the tornado watch is still in place for Smith County, Henderson County, Wood County, Franklin County, but our severe weather threat is over in those areas, with the exception of southeastern Smith County. Weather Service is going to... What are they doing here? Let's see. Oh, weather radio is toning out for something right now. Okay, here we go. Let's see here.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
All right, severe thunderstorm warning for central Anderson County. That'll go till 5:45. Cluster of storms located from 15 miles east of Fairfield to Bethel. Moving east at 40, 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So that's on the lower end of the severe weather threshold. But that is... Actually, let's put back onto the Fort Worth site. So we got a little bit better angle on that. So the northern half, or at the northern, what is that? The northern third of Palestine, you guys are included in the box. The severe weather concern is going to be back over here near Tennessee Colony. So this is to be southeast of Cayuga, over towards Tennessee Colony, just west side of Tennessee Colony, moving northeast. That's moving northeast at 4, or moving east at 40. So we'll run that thing east. Should escape most of Palestine. There's our radar loop. You can make out that hail core pretty plainly there, up to quarters. Mount Alba. You guys south of Elmtown, between Elmtown and Palestine, probably, I would think. Does Mount Selma need to worry about that one? Amber, I would say it's going to be one to watch. Yeah, it'll be one to watch from probably further. I think Jacksonville maybe a little bit more in line for that. We'll see. Let's see if it can maintain itself first. That's kind of the way these things have been acting. That's my first question: is can it hold itself together? We are in a good position with our relationship to daytime heating. We're sitting here almost at 5 o'clock. You got a maximum amount of heating that's in play right now, versus this happening during the overnight hours, when it's dark and it's been dark for a couple of hours, and we don't have that extra bit of oomph in the atmosphere from the heating. So that does help to kind of keep things a little bit more cooked up than they would be after dark. Especially at this time of year when you got a couple more hours left of daylight to start with. So we'll be watching that one there. Nothing tornadic in it, just Misty had some small hail there, Bethel, Cayuga area. How big was that hail, Misty, if you don't mind me asking, please, ma'am? So Weather Service is going to go ahead with another downstream warning, severe warning for the storm moving through Rusk and Gregg counties right now. So that'll come out here in a minute. Not surprised by that. Dimes and smaller, Misty. Okay, thank you much for that. So if you've got a NOAA weather radio and you receive warnings for Gregg County, Panola, Harrison, or Rusk County, you're getting something right about now, I bet.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
And what you're getting is a severe thunderstorm warning for those areas. We'll get back onto the Shreveport site and talk about these storms. This is just a further downstream movement of the same storms that we've been talking about. Nothing new here. Pea-sized hail in Bullard next to the Brookshires about 10 minutes ago, Dustin. Okay, thanks for that. So this is for this cluster of the storms here: New London back up to Sexton City, on over to Kilgore, southwest side of Longview. So they're going severe thunderstorm on that, 60 mile an hour winds and up to a quarter inch hail, or up to a quarter hail the size of quarters. That's 1 inch in diameter. So they've come down a little bit on the wind speed, so that's good. Let's look at this guy over here, though. He's got a... I'll be watching this area down there, 259, near Jacobs, Pirtle, Sexton City. Just going to kind of keep an eye out on this little area down here for any kind of rotation. That's It's a little suspicious looking just on the reflectivity product. See how it kind of is trying to bend back a little bit, and you got this weaker area down here. So maybe nothing, but something at least to watch. Little Rock got hit pretty hard, Kathy. That's what I'm hearing. Haven't had a chance to look too deeply into that, but that's my impression as well. They had a pretty big situation going on up there. Quarter-inch hail in Tennessee Colony. Thanks for that, CN. I appreciate it. So we're at 4:52. Latest severe thunderstorm warning runs for until 5:30 for southern Gregg, northern Rusk, northern Panola, and southern Harrison County. Hail up to quarters in size and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts there with that. So this will continue to swing across. Marshall, you're on the northern end of the polygon. So we'll be watching that, folks. Marshall, Longview, you got moderate to heavy rainfall there, in Longview right now, but it's not going to last terribly long. And you're on the northern fringe of this thing. The more intense part of the storm is going to be south of you guys, down really into, really as you get down into what would be Rusk County. You bet, Valerie. Thank you for being here. This stuff's about to exit out of Smith County. Seen a lot of people talking about power outages. With that wind, it's not really too surprising. Fortunately, we clear pretty well behind this, so at least it gives a good environment for the linemen to come in behind this and start to clean things up. So I'm glad for that. And they'll have pretty good daylight to do that work in, too. Just going to keep an eye on that area southeast of Kilgore, north of Henderson. Just kind of watching that area there. Reach out to a guy here real fast. All right, Weather Service is going to let the storm on the Smith-Cherokee County line expire at the top of the hour, so that is not surprising. That was set to expire at 5, so we're about 4 minutes ahead of that right now. Absolutely, Karma. Thanks for being here. Yeah. 9 and 8. Let's see here. Yeah, our friend Michael Searcy is out doing some looking around this afternoon, chasing the day. Small hail and heavy rain pass through Troop now. Okay, Joseph, thanks for that. Thanks, Kyle. I'll take a look at that. So, Weather Service expiring the severe thunderstorm warning for Cherokee, Gregg, Rusk, and Smith counties. So we're almost to the weekend. Can you believe we're going to end March on a pretty volatile note? April's here tomorrow. I didn't realize until a couple of days ago that this was Palm Sunday coming up. So we're heading into the heart of the severe weather season. That's the apex of it all right there. So we're those of you who are new to the area, this is nothing too out of the massively out of the ordinary. What we're looking at right now, or what we've dealt with over the past couple of weeks. It's kind of March in East Texas, but April is more of a busy month for us, and through the first half of May or so, and then the show starts to move further to the north and get up into the plains, and you see kind of all that taking off. Still some pretty good lightning production southeast of Kilgore along 322, west of 322. If there's going to be any wind, it'll be out here, approaching that Highway 43 corridor south and west of Tatum. Just about to get into Henderson. Troop just about clear now. Good thing, Joseph. That's great, man. That's what you want to see at 5 o'clock on a Friday. Continues to get lighter and lighter here in Tyler. So we are at 5 o'clock now. Tyler, Smith County now officially out of the severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to continue with the warning for extreme southern, southeastern Gregg County. That will include Longview, especially those folks to the south side of Longview down near the Easton community. And you guys there, look at those temperatures too, up to 80. So still pretty warm out ahead of all this. Southern Harrison County, you guys are in the polygon officially, as is northern Panola County and the northern, the northern half of Rusk County. Kilgore, you guys are done. West side of Longview, you guys are done. Gladewater, you're done. Liberty City, you're done. And we've still got this guy north side of Palestine, and I haven't forgotten about you guys in Anderson County. So let's get back over and look at Fort Worth side of things again real fast. Okay. That's a pretty good hail core there northwest of Palestine. just along Highway 19, east side of 19. I bet you got some quarters in that potentially, dimes to quarters. So that'll continue tracking off to the east, a little bit north of due east, so call it east-northeast. Bulk of this will pass just north of downtown Palestine, so that's good. That's kind of what we thought. Yeah, this is the only thing, Summer, for tonight. So you'll be A-okay after this is done. And as this thing passes east, it'll scoot over towards into Cherokee County. So we'll say Rusk back north towards Jayville. And the Weather Service in Shreveport will make a decision as to whether or not they want to extend this warning over into Cherokee County. They hand off or take the handoff from Fort Worth once it crosses the Anderson-Cherokee County line. So we'll wait and see what decision is made on that. So you guys in Natchez, you'll have a pretty good wind and hail coming in right at this time. But north stays just north of downtown Palestine. All right, real quick, let's hit this one.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
All right, Weather Service with a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is, just going to clip northeastern Cass County. It's right on the line, so this is well north of Atlanta. We've got, so they're calling it northeastern Cass until 5:45. Thunderstorm located near Wake Village, moving east at 40. So quarters and 60-mile-an-hour winds possible with that. So this is, here's the entirety of the polygon. But this guy is going to continue scooting across Wright Patman. Just kind of hugging that county line there. So Cass County is in it, but if you're down as far, even as far south as Linden, you're way south of the area of concern. But if you got people on that lake, obviously hopefully they've long since moved ashore. But that'll be more of a player for those folks between Texarkana and the Cass County line. But I did want to just bring that up. All right. So there's that new box. That box, and then we're back to this one here. Still some pretty decent rainfall there over southeastern Smith County. Just about to get south and east of ARP. Troop, you still got some moderate to heavy rainfall in your neck of the woods for now. Lightning production seems to have come down, though, and that's a good sign as far as weakening of storms, at least for the moment. We have long since taken it out of Tyler. Temp down to 69 at Tyler. Compare that to 82 over there at Henderson. So quite a contrast to either side. Now you got rain-cooled air, but you get back up, you get back out to the west, and it warms back up again. But it also dries out a lot. So we're still in the process of drying things out, but it's not a ton of cool air. We haven't really advertised much cool air behind this. You'll feel the cooler air effects overnight. Tonight as we clear and we have the drier air, when you have that drier air in mix, the temp can go down lower and cool more effectively, so it'll make for a pleasant morning tomorrow morning, and probably to a slightly lesser degree on Sunday morning. We'll already have some clouds probably trying to escape back in here, but so we got that there. This is Longview. You guys are done. Modest looking severe thunderstorm there north side of Henderson. So that's kind of where that is at for the moment. And then these storms back north side of Palestine. A little bit more lightning potential there, but I don't see anything as far as anything remotely resembling tornadic concerns for now. The structure that we have been watching doesn't seem. I think that's some bad data. Northeast side of Henderson. Let's let another couple of scans pass just with. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I am going to I'm going to step down here for a bit, and we'll monitor this stuff. If we need to come back in, obviously we'll do that. But I think with the general kind of the general trend of this stuff, I'm going to at least step away for a few minutes, and then we'll make a move back in here if we need to, if a tornado warning were to be issued or we see something resembling more pronounced severe weather threat. But I do appreciate you guys hopping on here this afternoon with us. Thanks to my friends at Rose City Roofing for helping to support what we're doing here as well. And obviously, if you have any pictures that you'd like to send along, maybe you saw some hail, maybe you saw some wind damage, some trees down, something like that, feel free to email those to me, doc@docdeason.com. Social media handles are here. You can see that on Twitter. We have the YouTube, which we've been streaming to for a couple of years now, but we haven't really talked much about it. But if you have folks who are friends of yours, maybe they are not on Facebook or Twitter, but they have an interest in weather and you think they might enjoy what we're doing here, I would encourage you to send them over towards YouTube. We do post some stuff at the Instagram site. I don't do nearly as much there as I do on the others, just out of a convenience standpoint. But it is something that we do have a presence on, and so it's a little harder to post on there than it is on the others, with it being so heavily driven by the phone and the smart devices like that. I do see that Weather Service is going to work up a severe thunderstorm warning for Cherokee County for that storm that's coming out of Anderson County right now. That's not surprising. We'll get that passed along here before we head out, and then we'll wait and see if something comes across that looks different than what we've been watching out of that thing for the last little bit. So we'll hang here for another minute or so and let that information come in, and that'll give these storms a little bit more time to kind of sweep west to east, and hopefully put us in a little bit better position to have a quieter evening out there. So let's see here. We'll wait on them to issue that. They'll start clearing some counties, too, from that tornado watch box. Smith and Henderson, they may wait till this thing gets out of Anderson County and then start clearing that western row of counties. But I would expect the tornado watch to get pulled here pretty quick, at least for the westernmost counties of East Texas, and probably a good chunk of these central counties as well. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate that very much, Lee. All right.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, here's the latest severe thunderstorm warning. This is for the storm that we were talking about was coming out of Anderson County. So Weather Service with a severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock for southwestern Rusk, northwestern Nacogdoches, and northern Cherokee County. Again, that goes till 6. The storm's there moving from 11 miles northeast of Palestine going east at 50. Quarters and 60-mile-an-hour winds potentially in that. So this will include the city of Jacksonville. It's going to include Rusk. It won't go as far south as Alto, but it will just kind of cross that Highway 69 corridor there. There's that guy, the kind of that better hail core there near Natchez. This will continue running east at about 50 miles an hour, so it won't take too long to get across Cherokee County at least. And if it can maintain that composure, it'll clip northeastern or northwestern Nacogdoches County there, Cushing, and should pass on this trajectory. Should pass south of the city of Henderson. But again, that will impact Jacksonville down to Gallatin and New Summerfield. You guys there, that's where the meat of this thing is gonna be affecting, with that potential again for up to quarters and maybe some upwards of 60-mile-an-hour winds in that. Okay, but as I said, we're going to step down here for a little bit. If anything comes back out that looks tornadic, as we try to maintain our protocol to especially handle those, and we'll handle the severe storms on a need-to basis, otherwise through posts throughout the evening. And always appreciate you guys hanging out with us here. We'll have a 7-day forecast update coming for you on Monday. We'll be talking about severe weather potential possibly for Sunday, and then also next week over the weekend as new model runs come in and SPC decides how they want to handle that stuff. Prayers for the folks up in Arkansas and points further north tonight and this afternoon as they've got a significant severe weather outbreak in progress across that part of the country right now. But for now, you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Welcome to April. It'll be here in about 6 hours and 44 minutes. So we will talk again as we need to throughout the evening. All right?
Thanks for watching this live broadcast from Doc Deason's Weather. When weather's at its worst, we're at our best. Doc Deason's Weather, the calm in the storm.